This week on Your City Now, Denver Human Services and the auditor have a disagreement. Teenage marijuana use has a high cost, and a possible climate action ballot issue moves through committee. These stories and more are just ahead on Your City Now.
They found over $500,000 could not be validated.
The Denver Auditor's Office reported that Denver Human Services and Rocky Mountain Human Services failed to prove they spent dedicated property tax dollars for their intended purpose.
They paid the entire invoice. The whole invoice was 1.6, so you're looking at just a hair under a third of what they looked at they couldn't validate.
The funds are to provide services for those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. However, DHS disagreed with the auditor's findings, citing proper procedures were followed and improvements had already been made since 2017.
It was just puzzling to me that you all decided to spend so much time, but you decided to go back to 17, and amen, it's your call. The auditor's office didn't cite any misspending or any fraud or neglect. We're balancing this need to get money into the hands of the people who need it as quickly, as thoroughly as possible.
To see the entire meeting, go to denvergov.org/Denver8 online. This week, an estimated 95,000 students will be returning to school. Denver police are ramping up efforts to enforce traffic violations to protect students. Mayor Hancock is asking Denver drivers to slow down around bus stops, school zones, and surrounding neighborhoods.
We want you to be careful. Be mindful, be aware, and be alert as you drive through our school zones. We're going to be out watching for you, but we need to make sure we all commit to keeping our children safe.
Last weekend, the City and County of Denver, in partnership with Elitch Gardens, fostered an outreach to the city's youth as part of the high-cost marijuana education campaign.
And it's different than any other youth prevention campaign in the country in that it is not scare tactics. We're not telling kids this is your brain on drugs or just saying no, because that has not worked in the past. We've taken a different approach where we're trying to teach youth what are the high costs of making the poor decision to use marijuana underage.
79% of marijuana violations by Denver public school students resulted in suspension or expulsion. Plus, a juvenile conviction could result in loss of future financial aid when applying for college. To learn more, go to thehighcost.com.
This demonstrates the global surface average temperature and the departure from average since 1880 to 2018.
Two extensive presentations on climate change were made to the Safety Committee in the last 2 weeks, and a proposed pollution tax narrowly passed on first reading in Council.
There is nobody at this table that doesn't agree we need to do more. We're wrestling with how to get that done.
The bill would raise funds for climate action by taxing energy use on commercial and industrial buildings. Among the many other proposed solutions was a residential tax similar to the one used in Boulder.
In Boulder, the average tax for homeowners is about $21 a year. Everybody needs to be part of the solution to this problem.
The suggestion was not included in the bill. If passed next week, voters will decide in November. Watch these meetings at denvergov.org/Denver8 online. Denver was host to the Colorado Smart Cities Symposium, a conference which highlights technology needs and solutions for cities and communities. Mayor Hancock spoke to the conference attendees at this year's event.
Smart cities means every one of us. Health is a more inclusive term. Equity says we recognize that everyone starts from the same place, but we got to give everyone the same advantage of opportunity to be inclusive in this new economy. And as Cindy just appropriately said, we don't have a choice in terms of our transition and evolution to a more multimodal society.
To learn more, go to coloradotechnology.org. The Cook Park and Berkeley Park pools are going to the dogs. It's time for Dog-a-Poolooza. On Sunday, September 1st, your dog can take a dip in one of these pools before they're drained and cleaned for the season. But this year, it's dogs only, no humans allowed. The cost is $5 per dog per session, and sessions begin at 9 a.m. You can catch new episodes of Your City Now every Friday. Thanks for watching, Denver.